Are we just 2 weeks away from seeing them aliens? Are we even still talking about this? No, actually we aren't, because we're talking about the top 10 places scarier than Area 51 Part 4. Blimey. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and I think the world is both beautiful and terrifying, and you're about to find out why. Before we get into this video though, why don't you let me know the scariest place that you've ever been? I'm gonna go with the Tower of London, it's got a pretty gruesome history, or the tunnels underneath Freemantle Prison in Australia. Scary. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please do leave a thumbs up on this video, it just makes me happy. Share it with a friend. If you haven't subscribed to Most Amazing Top 10 yet, then go ahead and do so. We've almost got 6 million subscribers, which is pretty actually crazy. Check out the links in the description box to our sources if you want to read more, and also there are links to our Most Amazing Instagrams if you want to get social. Alright, let's do this. Coming in at number 10 we have Snake Island. Snake Island, an island of snakes. Snakes, anyone? You, sir! Would you like to slither with snakes? No. No, you wouldn't. Listen, I may be the Slytherin queen, but this is too much for me. Snake Island is a wee little spit of land officially called Queimada Grande off Brazil. The island may be small at just 110 acres in area, but it's home to over 4,000 venomous snakes. Hurrah! It's the Golden Pit Viper. Beyond those yellow-bellied death traps, there are thought to be hundreds of thousands of other snakes too. Great, it's a snake fest. The island is so dangerous that you simply can't travel there. There's no tourism, you're not allowed, thankfully. Once again, it looks like this.
Then its mainland relative. If a bitten bird manages to fly off.
I don't know about them aliens. I don't know what they've got going on, but I know a bite from one of these snakes will kill me, so I'm gonna stay clear. No thank you. No siree. Okay, there is a good chance if you take a drive here, you aren't coming back alive. Coming into number 9, we have the North Youngas Road, aka the most dangerous road in the world. The North Youngas Road can be found in Bolivia and has been nicknamed as Death Road. Great! Promising. In 1995, the road was voted the most dangerous in the world by the Inter-American Development Bank. It also received a fear factor scale of 10 out of 10 by drivingexperiences.com. As of yet, nobody has peaked it to the post. No other road has claimed that prize. It's still the most dangerous. There are varying reports on the danger of this road, with some suggesting the yearly death toll is around 300 people, but others say that actually the road sees around 1,300 fatalities in a year, which is significantly more than Area 51. Either way, we can all agree that this road is an absolute death trap, and it's steep, it's potholed, it's narrowed, it has hairpin bends, it's dusty, it's susceptible to poor weather such as fog and tropical downpours and landslides, and once again, you're never gonna see me driving this ever. On top of that, the nearest ambulance crews are a 2.5 hour drive away, so if you get hurt, you know, you're getting hurt and probably not fixed. Coming into number 8, we have the Paris Catacombs. The mystery. What's going on down there? We don't really know. Under the city of Paris lay the remains of more than 6 million people spread over 200 miles of intricate tunnel work. Only a very small section is open to the public, which has set imaginations wild. There are ghost stories coming out of every corner, every orifice. With any mystery, of course, obviously comes a healthy dose of the spooks. The story goes that the creepy underground tunnels were built to deal with the city's problem of overflowing cemeteries. People in Paris just kept on dying and there was nowhere to put them. Because of the curious and morbid nature of the catacombs, many rumors have cropped up as to what's happening down there. Ghost stories, sure, but theories range from the tunnel being home to albino alligators, snip snap. Others say that they are the hiding place of a number of serial killers, the meeting places for Masonic cults, a spooky gathering spot for Satanists. Some rumors even go out there and say that Nazis hid down there in the Second World War, and actually I wouldn't be surprised. Either way, a dark network of tunnels underground. Really not for me. I don't like to be indoors, so underground just doesn't make me feel good. Coming in at number 7, we have Fomalhaut B. What in the fresh hell are we looking at here? Questions? I need answers. Honestly, to me, this literally looks like the Eye of Sauron, and I'm not here for it. Spaceman, honestly, truly, it's horrifying. I could fill this whole list with space, but I've kept it to a minimum because I guess it's kind of beyond our grasp. So let me tell you what we're looking at, and perhaps it'll make some sense. Fomalhaut B is an exoplanet, also known as Dagon. It's an extrasolar object, and it orbits the star that gave it its name. It is a planet completely shrouded in ethereal space dust. How far away is this terrifying formation? Just 25 light years. The 2012 images from the Hubble Space Telescope telescope are absolutely terrifying. Also, side note, the name Dagon in mythology is a Jewish deity which is represented as a half man and half fish, which I don't even know if that makes it scarier or less scary, or it's just extra information, but my mind is boggling. Boggling. Space, it's just mind-boggling in general, right? Coming into number 6, we have the Yellowstone volcano. The ticking time bomb waiting to explode, and when it does, it will bring North America to its knees. Hurrah! In theory, Yellowstone isn't that scary right now, but it has been in the past, and one day it very much will be terrifying in the future. We just don't know when. The volcano has erupted, so far as we know, 3 times in the past. It's caused absolute havoc each time, but prior to now, there were no humans around to experience it. The last known eruption was 640,000 years ago, before that 1.3 million years ago, and then before that 2.1 million years ago, which, if we're able to equate a rough pattern, means that we could be due a new eruption soon. If it does blow, 1,000 degree flowing lava will spew, incinerating those nearby. Beyond that, those within a 100-kilometer radius could be scalded with burning hot ash. Now, the ash could fall over a 500-mile radius from the epicenter of the eruption, causing, again, havoc. It is one of the most potentially dramatic places in the world, and it has the potential to bring about a finale for North America, or at least a very crippling blow. So speaking of eruptions, we have this horrifying silent killer at number 5. Oh yes, that is right, it is Lake NYOS. Lake NYOS is continually a disaster waiting to strike, and luckily now we know about it, but that wasn't always the case. In 1986, it was responsible for the death of 1,746 people and over 3,500 livestock. Geologists are not sure exactly what took place to cause the disaster. They think it could have been a landslide or an underwater earthquake, but whatever happened on the 21st of August, carbon dioxide trapped at the bottom of the deep lake burst out in an underwater eruption that created a deadly gas cloud. The cloud then descended into nearby villages, killing people and livestock within a 25-kilometer radius of the lake, which is pretty far. It is reported that the normally blue waters of the lake turned blood red on that day, which is quite the omen, even if it can be explained by iron-rich water rising to the surface and oxidizing. Other lakes have since been studied to see if they could generate the same effect. Lake Kivu in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is 2,000 times the size of Lake NYOS, and it was found to be a risk too. Deadly lakes, I don't like them. Coming into number 4, we have the Agbog Bloshi dump site. This is where electronic waste goes to die, but it is killing others in the process. Why? Toxic gas. When you throw out an old phone or a computer, do you ever really wonder where it goes? For a lot of us living privileged lives in the West, we don't really think about what happens to things when we throw them out, which is part of the problem with the way that we live. Once we toss things, they no longer become our responsibility, but they do continue to exist. A lot of electronic waste is sent to less fortunate countries to deal with. The Agbog Bloshi dump site in Accra, Ghana is made up of only 20% Western waste and 80% West African waste, but still it's a source of income for a lot of Ghanaians, but it is really polluting things. The thing is though, e-waste and the burning of e-waste creates some serious pollutants. Toxic smoke billows from this wasteland. Those in the area are exposed to carbon monoxide, arsenic and zinc. They're very abundant in the air. This is one place you would really want to hold your breath, or just, start praying. Or just don't go there. Another place not to go, we have the Doomsday Glacier. I mean, with a name like that, it doesn't sound great, does it? The Doomsday Glacier is the nickname given to the Thwaites Glacier. The glacier is a massive piece of ice floating in the Antarctic in Pine Island Bay, which is here on the map. Cold, 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 remote, remote, remote. If you say thing 3 times, it's gotta be true, right? In fact, the glacier is so remote that only 28 humans have ever set foot there, which is less than space. Sure, the conditions are icy and dicey, but the issue with the Doomsday Glacier is not where it is, but what it can do. It seems that the Thwaites Glacier may hold the fate of the world in its icy body. It's thinned by nearly a quarter since the 1970s, which is bad news bez. You may know that half of the world's population lays within 50 miles of the coastline. The glacier melting will destabilize the rest of the West Antarctic ice, and sea levels could rise 10 feet across the board, but because of tidal bulges, 13 feet in Boston and New York. Now, geologist Richard Alley said West Antarctica could do to the coastlines of the world what Hurricane Sandy did in a few hours to New York City. Scary stuff. Coming into number 2, we have the North Sentinel Island. This island is so dangerous that anyone who has ever set foot there that wasn't born there has been killed. Why is the island in the Bay of Bengal so scary? Because it's home to the most hostile tribe of all time, the Sentinelese. The Sentinelese tribe are an uncontacted indigenous tribe that want to be left alone and famously have been known to kill intruders. In 2006, they murdered illegal fishermen, and in 2018, they killed an American missionary. His body was seen on the beach, just, dead. The island is banned for travelers, but that doesn't mean that people haven't tried to go there. Honestly, they must have a death wish. Death by angry tribe really isn't my favourite way I can think of going. Scary. A scary island. One of the scariest places in the world at number 1. Honestly, this gives me low-level anxiety just in general. We have Galveston National Laboratory. So this science lab in Texas, USA is where the world's deadliest diseases are kept under lock and key, with 24-hour security presence patrolling by the state police. The lab is home to the Ebola and Marburg viruses, the combination required for an outbreak of Spanish flu, which killed 40 million people between 1918 and 1919, as well as more. Much more. Quite like the Spanish flu, the lab contains the last remains of extinct diseases that most people on Earth don't have immunity to anymore. For example, smallpox or leprosy. Great! The reason dangerous pathogens are stored there is several-fold. It allows scientists to study the properties, and if they ever break out again, we have already isolated the disease in order to generate a cure. The building is scary though for many reasons. Plus, if the wrong people got their hands on the pathogens, then they could launch a biological attack. Remember the bit about the diseases that we don't have immunity to? Yeah, scary, right? So, that was the top 10 places scarier than Area 51 Part 4. What do you think? Are they scarier, or are you still afraid of the spot in Nevada? Will you be going to see them aliens on September the 20th? Let me know in the comment section down below. Before I go, I'm gonna read some comments from the top 10 insane mysteries solved by 4chan. You guys seem to really enjoy this video, and you had a lot to say. Sebastian Michaelis said, my favorite memes are cat and anime memes. Cat and anime are 2 of the 5 things you need to live. Interesting. Now I'm wondering if that's 2 out of the 5, what are the other 3? I'm gonna guess a comfy bed to sleep in, a great group of friends, and cheese. There absolutely always needs to be cheese, right? Lucky Plays responded to my question of what is your favourite meme. They said, my favourite meme? SpongeBob in general. Any episode births several meme templates every week. I agree, I so often see SpongeBob memes, and I'm wondering if the creators are just doing it on purpose. Daniel Thengsing said, okay, so much time of introduction. Come to point early. You spend 60% just useless talking instead of topics. We are not impressed with that. Friend, Daniel, can I introduce you to the skip button? If you don't like my breed of comedy or whatever this is, lots of arms I think, skip! Skip friend, skip. Skip friend, skip. Skip to the content. Skip friend, skip. You don't have to hear me sing if you don't want to. Is this the 60% useless conversation that you've said I insert into videos? Maybe you have a point. But once again, skip friends, skip. If you want to get to the end right now, skip, but I'm going to say some more stuff. So, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Share it with a friend. Subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10. I do a lot of arm waving, but I'll try and keep it to a minimum. I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate. We've got a whole playlist, so stick around, but I will see you next time. Skip friend, skip. But you don't have to because it's the end.